Give me just a second, ladies and gentlemen. And we will begin momentarily. I'm just checking a couple things. And we will begin. Just checking a couple things. Give me just a couple things. Alright, so, welcome back. Voidex, I am the expert of experts, the master of disaster, the one and only Voidex here, so then we got Stroller. And we are back with Voidex, a series that is dedicated to give an in-depth look at various games, series, whatever you may think of. Last time we did Final Fantasy 1. Give me just a second. Last time we did Final Fantasy 1, we went over all the spells, items, etc, etc. We are back with Final Fantasy 1, because we're going to be taking a look at other things. First of all, a Pixel Remaster version. This is only a Pixel Remaster version. Once you finish the game, I believe this only becomes available once you finish the game. I don't think you can do this, before then. Once you finish the game and you go and check an enemy, you'll see a little option here that says Battle. So you can change what type of enemy groups you get, which is honestly pretty cool. So, if you want to fight like a specific enemy group, then you can fight a specific enemy group. We are gonna fight just goblins. So this uses your, I'm not sure if it uses your completed save file or your current save file. I have no idea. I actually have no idea. It looks like it uses your, oh. It actually uses your completed save file, I think. We will find out here in a second. This is experimentation, so I am going to go into my save file. I can re-equip everyone. Wow, got so much damage. So, it doesn't give you any, like, rewards for doing that. So let's see what happens if we go into the save file. And we equip stuff. We are doing some in-depth, looks at Final Fantasy 1 some more. So before I do anything else, yeah, I think it was using the, I'm gonna make sure that Pegasus doesn't get any. Okay, that's weird. Everyone gets a protect ring. You don't need that. Okay, so let's go ahead and save the game. And let's see if that changes anything. Yeah, it is a bit odd that this doesn't have the extra stuff from the GBA and PSP versions of the game. But it also does a little bit at the same time. Last time we went over this, I showed some of the items that were very clearly not in the NES or PlayStation version. They were in the GBA and PSP version. Just slimmed down, I believe. Alright, so let me see. Does this change? Does this change? Let's find out. It does. So it's entirely dependent on your current save file. That is very interesting. That's super interesting. Huh. That's good to know. It's a little problematic because if you want to change any setup, you have to go to your save file first, but yeah, being a gamer at this day and age is being a little bit more unreasonable. For those who don't know, I'm gonna say this here, but Nintendo did a little update to the Switch that basically says if you do anything to your Switch, that they can just permanently disable that Switch. Which, why? Just why? Alright, so, now that I know how that works, we're gonna go over each enemy in the game. Each of them. Now, this is less interesting in this version of the game, because enemies don't really drop that many items. In fact, I don't think they really drop very many items at all. Unlike the GBA or PSP version, where item drops are more interesting. You can do what you pay more for every game. Also, I'm gonna say this right now. They did a little something in the Pixel Remaster version that's a little bit different. Does anyone here notice anything odd about the map? If you look at this map, what looks wrong with this map? Can you see what's wrong with this map? Anyone? I'll give you a hint. It's towards the top of the map, around the top area of the map. So, look above the 3/4 mark towards, it's above the 3/4 mark at the top of the map. Do you see what's wrong? Let me just say this. It's in the upper right corner of the map. Do you see it now? If you're curious, that little thing, yep, what they did, that's actually part of the left side. So what they did to fix some random encounters in this version of the game is they shifted the map slightly to the left. Like a few pixels to the left. Just to fix some random encounters. Because random encounters in Final Fantasy 1 are set by blocks. They're not set by like, oh, if you're stepping on a specific square, well, some specific squares do, determine random encounters. Like if you're skipping on a forest versus a desert or water, you do get, different encounter rates. But, it's set in little blocks, little chunks. And some encounters were in the wrong spots originally. This is how you got the Peninsula of Power originally in all the previous versions of Final Fantasy. I actually don't remember if it's in the PSP version. It might be in the PSP version of the game. But that's how they fixed all of that. I'll go over some more things here and there. I'm debating if I want to... It was in the PSP version. Alright, so let's talk about some of these enemies. So, the Goblin. Your basic, very first enemy that you're probably gonna fight. Not very difficult enemy. You just hit a little bit and it dies. It just dies. You can find it all over the place, as you can see. Never mind, you can't really find it all over. Well, 1, 2, 3, there's 4 different areas. It's around the Cornelia area, it's around the Propica area, and for some reason it's over by, what is that area? Is that the, Giant's Cave area? I think that's the Giant's Cave area. Yeah, I don't know why they fixed it. Like, after having it for that many years, why did they fix it? So we have the Goblin, and then you have the Goblin Guard. So the Goblin Guard might be a little bit more difficult for, early game. Just a little bit more difficult. They're twice as strong, twice as much HP. They're just a little bit hanky. Just a little bit more hanky. But again, if you're leveled up enough, they shouldn't be that hard. You might run into some of these all the way to the Chaos Shrine, I believe. Yeah, you run into these all the way to the Chaos Shrine. Why are they... They're apparently around Crescent Lake and Golem Volcano. Why? And around the, whatever that... Is that the, that's the Mars Cave area, isn't it? I don't know why they're over there. Some of these areas don't make sense. Like, why are they so far away from... And there's another area. Way up there. What the heck is that area? I don't even remember that area over there. Above, Gold Volcano. Alright, so the wolf. So the wolf might be your most dangerous enemy. In fact, the wolf probably is the most dangerous enemy around these parts. Actually, I think the crazy horse is more dangerous than the wolf. But the wolf, and I think you can also run it like a warg wolf around this point. Actually, can you? I think a warg wolf might be a little bit later. Like after you finish Chaos Shrine. But the wolf is pretty hanky, honestly. Well, I say hanky, it has no defense, but it has the most HP out of all the enemies here, so far. They don't really drop anything. They are a beast type. I don't really remember if they fixed the, special weapons. They probably did. If they didn't, then that's silly. But overall, the wolf, not very difficult. It's not a difficult enemy. The Crazy Horse, on the other hand, as you can see, the Crazy Horse is a bit of a step up from all the other enemies. It is one of the most working versions, yes. So Crazy Horse has like triple the HP of the wolf. It's a little slower. It has a crap ton of magic defense. Holy crap, that's a lot of magic defense. Like, compared to everything else, that is a lot of magic defense. And it also drops a potion. Which, I mean, yay. The horse might have Snort. It might be a later horse. It might be the Nightmare, I believe, that has Snort. And if I recall, Snort does instant death. I don't think this one has Snort. I got the skeleton. Our lovely, spooky little skeletons. Oh, they can drop Echo Grass. And they're weak of fire and Gia. And look! Notice how there's no weakness or resistance? They're weak of fire and Gia. Here's the DMC boy. And look at all those resistance. He's resistant and like all the status effects. And or final boss depending on the game. I suppose so. So these guys are not very difficult. The Crazy Horse is still worse. Like, it has the same attack as the Crazy Horse, but it's a lot weaker. So yep, like every mob with every FF. The Black Widow, not to be confused with the Marvel character, that's a completely different character. It's got a little bit more HP, it hits about as hard. And I believe its regular attack can inflict poison. It just hurt and blinded you. Yeah, these guys, I believe, can inflict poison. And poison really, really sucks. Well, I say it really sucks. It's not as bad in this game as in some other games. Final Fantasy X. Poison does suck early on. Yes, early on it does suck because you don't have really good ways of dealing with it. You can get Poisona, which actually I don't think you can get Poisona this early. I don't know if you can until Propica. But you don't want to be using Poisona over Cure, so... and you probably don't have enough money, because money is kind of hard to get. Like, as you can see, the money is very low early on. Goblin Guard's gonna give you the most money for your bang. The most bang for your buck for, money. But overall, this guy, not super difficult. It's just that he's gonna inflict poison on you. And the Gigas Worm. This guy's gonna be probably the scariest guy in the Chaos Shrine. Because he has the highest attack. He has the highest attack outright out of everyone so far. And he has the same max defense as Crazy Horse, so... Was grinding pirates? Yeah, that was the best way of grinding money. So, Gigas Worm might actually be worse a fight than Crazy Horse. Just because it's got a little bit less HP, but it's got more attack, more defense, the same max defense, a little bit more evade. It's a little bit scary. It's just gonna hurt a lot. Luckily, the weak of fire. So you can just mow them down with fire if you run into them. And then the Warg Wolf. So we start going from this as your strongest enemy in the Chaos Shrine, and this as your regular enemy in the next area. So if you haven't leveled up enough to deal with the Gigas Worm and Crazy Horse, then the Warg Wolf might start causing a little problem. If I recall, the Warg Wolf has an innate regeneration. I think it restores, like, a little bit of HP every turn. So if you shouldn't have any problems killing it. The regen in this game is not a problem, except for one guy. And we'll get that guy when we get to him. Also, these guys drop antidotes, so... If you need some antidotes for free, you can fight some Warg Wolves. I don't know what the drop rate is, but you can farm them. Oh, it's the werewolf. The werewolf is the one with the regen. I'm sorry, not the Warg Wolf. The werewolf has regen. Also, notice how they're pretty similar in stats. Except the werewolf has less evasion and gives more money and EXP. I think the werewolf can also inflict poison. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's the werewolf that can inflict poison. Yep, there is. It's regenerative and it's magic. I don't know what magic means. It's probably just a magic hype. But yeah, regenerative is the hype that gives, our regen themselves. So, if you're having problems with the Warg Wolf, you might have a little bit of problems with the werewolf, but you shouldn't be having any problems by the point you fight them. Like, they're around the Propica area, I believe. Let's find out. They're around the, Matoya Cave area, actually, it seems like. You can also run into them around the Morse Cave, which is the next soonest area you can run into them. After the Morse Cave, there shouldn't be any problem. These guys, on the other hand, zombies are mean. Because I believe each zombie enemy in the game can inflict paralysis. Correct me if I'm wrong. And if your entire party gets paralyzed, well, you're kind of screwed if you find a whole bunch of zombies. And keep in mind, there's no true immunity to Scaz ailments as far as I'm aware. It's just resistance, not immunity. So, zombies are kind of mean, but not very strong. Compared to other enemies, they're very weak. But the fact that they are usually in very big groups, I could fight some of these guys, but there's no reason for me to do that. The fact that they come in big groups often, and they can inflict paralysis, I think these guys can inflict paralysis. I know later zombies do. Makes them kind of dangerous. They can also drop a staff, which, wow, a staff. That's exactly what you need. And zombies are generally immune to Scaz ailments. Now, if you're wondering what the earth is, there is no earth element. What it means by earth is specifically for the quake spell. So quake does instant death to all enemies, but it's not classified in instant death. It's classified as earth. Don't ask. FF1 was very, very weird with its resistances. Like, very weird. There was earth, there's spirit, there's instant death, there's, I don't remember if mind is one. That might be FF2. But yeah, there's some very, very weird resistances. So yeah, probably one of the more dangerous enemies you can run into. And then you have the upgraded zombie, which is even more dangerous. And they can also inflict paralysis. How have I only fought 23 of these guys? How can I only run into that few of these enemies? That's wild. So yeah, they're a little bit weaker in terms of attack. But they have more evasion, magic evasion, they're a little bit faster, they're twice as fast, twice as accurate, and they got almost triple HP. Even more zombie. So zombies, they only have regular attacks. But they always inflict, like, paralysis. So the ghoul is an even stronger zombie. And then we have Garland. Your very first boss of the game. You can bum rush Garland and fight him at level 1. If you really wanted to. Do you want to fight Garland without any equipment or spells? Probably not. But I think you can even beat him at level 1. As long as you know, have some equipment and spells. Is it going to be easy? Probably not. You're probably going to get whacked. It does depend on the party. But Garland, all he has is a regular attack. It's just a regular attack. He's not like he is in later Final Fantasies, like Dissidia, where he has, you know, a whole bunch of different moves. He just hits you with a regular attack. That's your very first boss of the Final Fantasy series, is Garland. A fallen knight. He gives you a long sword. You just steal his sword whenever you beat him, I guess. No weakness, no resistance. So you can just beat him down. Nothing too difficult. And now we get the Cobra. The Cobra is around the Pravka area, I believe. Yeah. Around the Pravka area and the, I don't know what that is. That might be the, Astos area. And the Mars Cave. So Cobras suck. Cobras really suck. Because most enemies in this game just have a regular attack. Cobras inflict poison. Cobras also come in a big group of other Cobras. So you're probably going to get poisoned a lot by Cobras. They're also very evasive, like, the wolves have higher evasion, but like, they got a decent amount of evasion, and they got high max defense. So your this is why I said last time that black mage probably isn't really necessary, because a lot of enemies are just gonna have high max defense, which makes, you know, mage just a little bit less valuable, I feel. Guys? Why is this a dragon hive? What? Okay, here you go. Here's a dragon. It's a cobra. Sir, I guess cobras could be dragons. Why not? And here's my favorite enemy to bully early on. Ogres hurt. Ogres do hurt when you fight them. They're around the Elfheim area. Is it called Elfheim? I think it's called Elfheim, right? Japanese dragons are serpent-like. I mean, to be fair, dragons are reptilian, so, you know, they are serpents. So, ogres I like to fight early on because they give you a lot of gil and EXP both. So, you can farm EXP and money by fighting a bunch of ogres. Just keep in mind, they hurt. They hurt a lot when they hit you. And mages kind of suck against them. Again, magic is kind of not super great in this game. There's a couple instances where you want magic, but for the most part, you're not using your mages for, you know, hitting them with spells. Ogres are giants. Wow, who would have thought? So, if you think the ogres hurt, ogre thieves are even stronger. With even more evasion, defenses, attack, more everything. They're literally stronger ogres. I mean, it makes sense, they're ogre thieves. These are the guys you want to run into the most when you're grinding around Elfheim, because they give you a crap ton of money and EXP. Like, a crap ton. Oh wow, they're not even around Elfheim. You have to go, like, near Asgos' place in order to fight, ogre thieves. If you really wanted to fight ogre thieves. So yeah, if you want EXP and money, seek these guys out early on. Just be warned that you're probably going to get hurt very badly. Again, you have a lizard. I think these are fought in Mount Gold. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't think they're in Mount Gold. I don't remember where you fight these guys. I don't think they do anything special. I think they're just regular dudes. They just hurt a little bit, you know. And they're dragons. Because, you know, they are in Mount Gold. Okay, they're in the Cavern of Earth first. So, here's a dragon. That's good to know if you have the worm killer. Which you should have the worm killer by now. Before you go to the Cavern of Earth, you should have the worm killer from the Elf Prince. So nothing fancy with this guy, you just beat him down. And then the pirate! The pirate! This is where you want to farm on the seas. You want to fight, not the pirate. There's another pirate enemy you farm on the sea. Actually, can you fight him on the sea? No. This is your second boss, quote unquote. You fight them with Propica. You fight... How many do you fight? You fight 9 of them. So you fight 9 pirates. You should not have any problems with them. Regular attacks good enough. Have magic fire off on whatever. Not hard. Now, keep in mind, if an NES person, you want to be mindful of who you're attacking, because when you kill an enemy, if you have anyone else targeting that enemy that just died, their turn gets wasted. So, You gotta be mindful of who you're targeting in the NES version. Otherwise, you might be wasting turns. And you don't want to waste turns. Apparently, they could drop the letter sealed, which, I mean, that's a nice little drop early on, if you never got any letter sealed. Now we're on the sea enemies, the Sahagins. Sahagins are not that difficult. They might hurt a little bit. If the pirates hurt you, these guys are gonna hurt you. They are weak to lightning, I think? Yes, they're weak to lightning. And if you have the, what is the water sword? I don't remember what the water sword is. There's a weapon strong against aquatics that you can get, I think, after you get the Mystic Key. Which helps against these guys, but they don't really give that much EXP and money compared to, like, other guys. Like, you could go and fight ogres, it could be, a lot better than, these guys. Nothing interesting about them. They're resistant to earth for some reason. And fire. I think the Sahagin Chief, which is more valuable, and you'll probably fight one or two of these in a group of Sahagins. Let's find out. You can fight them with a Sark, two of them with, 7 Sahagins, two of them with 5 Sahagins, two of them with 3 Sahagins, or one with 3 Sahagins, or that group. You don't want that group. That group's scary. That group's also kinda scary. Oh god, that's a scary group. So, we didn't see that enemy yet. I think that's a Sahagin Prince. But these guys also do regular acts. They're just stronger Sahagins. So, take care of them first before the Sahagins, and you shouldn't have any problems. I like how they don't drop any items. No item drops. Sahagins, potion. Sahagin Chief, no, you get nothing. And the Buccaneer, here is the guy that you're probably gonna farm. Because this guy gives you a lot of money, a decent amount of EXP, they hit a little hard, but they're not evasive, so you can run it to 5 of them. You want to run it to 5 of them. That's the biggest group, so 5 of them. That's 300 EXP and 600 gil you can get from fighting these guys, which is a lot easier to get than fighting ogres. Because I think you can only fight like, yeah, you can only fight like 2 ogres at a time. You can fight 3 ogres, but I think that's somewhere else. That's a scary formation. But I think that's also somewhere else. Probably the Giant's Cave. So the Buccaneer is probably the best way of grinding. The problem is, I don't know how rare they are. They do drop the Saber. Which, I mean, that's a decent thing you can sell if you don't need it. The Sark gives you the most EXP out of anyone. So if you wanna level up, fight some Sarks. They are a little bit tanky. They are the strongest of the water enemies, I believe. At the point you can fight them. But they give you a lot of EXP. They're weak to lightning, so if you have thunder, then I think you get thunder in Propica? If you don't get it Propica, you get it in Elfheim. Hey guys, they're very weak. They're very evasive though, but they're very weak. They do have a special attack called Gaze or Glare, which inflicts paralysis, so they can be a little bit annoying. But they're very weak. You should be able to kill them in one hit with your melees. Or with anything, really, unless you're using a melee with a mage. So, yeah. Big guys, nothing special. They inflict paralysis. Don't need to worry about them. And now we start getting to around, what is that town called? I never remember the name of the town. It's the one that you go to after Elfheim. I can't remember the name now, but you run into these guys towards the Mars Cave, and I think you can also run into them on the world map. Just like the Black Widow. Yeah, Melman, thank you. I knew it started with an M, I just couldn't remember the name of the place. Thank you. But, yeah, these guys, if you hate the Black Widows, you're gonna hate these guys. Because they also inflict poison. And they come along with, Black Widows and the Slimes. We'll talk about the Slimes later. They're not as bad as in Final Fantasy 2. This formation kinda sucks, though. Like, some of these formations are, ugh. Like, that is a formation you don't really want to see. Because that's a formation of, okay, how many people are getting poisoned? How many people are getting poisoned a day? You see how many encounters there are with a tarantula? That is so many encounters. They still don't give as much EXP or money as the Shark, but you can run into a lot more of them, so overall you could get more EXP and money by fighting tarantulas over the Shark. They're also weaker, so I mean, take your pick. Which do you want to fight, the Shark or whole bunch of tarantulas? So yeah, Capital of Earth, Mars Cave, and around Melman. I believe you can fight these guys. Hey guys, did you like zombies? Do you love zombies? How about I introduce your third zombie, the Gas? Same thing as the zombie. Except, you know, just stronger and more annoying. And hey guys, guess what? They come with zombies, or ghouls. And other undeads, which likes to inflict blind. Or, you know, you can get this awful group. If you get this group, I feel sad for you. I believe I've had this group, and I have had my entire party paralyzed on stream, if I recall. And it really sucked. See, I really love that they added this feature in the Pixel Remaster. It would be real nice to have this in other versions of the game. Just so you can see, what kind of enemy groups can we run into? Can we run any type of, like, battle simulation against these enemies? I wish they would have done this with, like, FF7, 8, 9, 10, all of that. I understand that would have been more work, but, like, it's just fun to experiment without, you know, having to track down the enemy or, you know, having to save files specifically for a boss. Really wish games would do that more. Oh yeah, so, you like poison, guys? How many of you love poison? What status effect do you think is used the most in this game? The answer is poison. Poison happens the absolute most. So scorpions also in Mars Cave, they show up in Mount Gold. They also just use regular attacks, and they inflict poison. Do you love poison? I love poison. Hey, I bet you love poison. You love being poisoned in game all the time, right? So you must absolutely adore being poisoned. I got the Shadow. So Shadow, there's another version of Shadow, he's not there. These guys also just buff you with their staff, and it inflicts blind. So blind, you're using the Smash community. Wait, but I was part of the Smash community. Are you calling me toxic? I wasn't toxic. Come on, I wasn't toxic. I was more toxic in myself than anything else, but I guess I kinda was toxic. Huh. Anyways, shadows are not very strong. They are very resistant to magic, I think. No, they're not resistant to magic. They're just a magic type. Despite not using magic. So, you just bop them. They're not hard to kill. Very easy to kill. They are resistant like everything ever. What do you mean I still have that? What problem? What are you talking about? What problem are you talking about with fighting games? Ah! So the greens... Oh, never mind. The slimes. Oh, you mean me getting angry? Is that what you're talking about? Me getting angry at myself? I mean, I have that problem in every game. What are you talking about? I don't think it's specific to fighting games. Me getting angry at myself. So the green slime. Slimes suck. As you can see... Yeah, I mean, to be fair, FTC3, I was being a little try-hard. Because I was doing so much with Dante that, you know, I was like, why am I failing doing this simple thing I should be doing, even though it's not really that simple. So slimes, you kinda need magic for slimes, otherwise you're not really killing them, because they have the highest defense out of any enemy in the game. So if you run at these and you don't have any magic, you're better off running away. Unless you get like a crit. I think a crit bypasses defense, but I'm not sure. You can get some high potions from them, but like... You kinda don't want to fight them if, Dante requires a bare minimum 50. I know. I mean, I wasn't doing too bad with Dante. It's just I kept messing up my, cancel. My jump cancel. But that's also because I don't play that much to do it on command. I'm able to do it a little bit better now. Since I was doing clips and stuff, I could do it a little bit better now. The problem, too, is I don't know combo routes either, so, you know, that doesn't help. So there's the green slime. It's weak to fire and ice, so you can use fire and blizzard, but, I mean, fire and blizzard's on the same level, so, you know, you're probably not... It doesn't really matter which spell you use. Crawler. I forget if a crawler inflicts poison as well. Suma's also up there with how complicated he is. I don't know anything about Suma Goroff, so I don't know how complicated that guy is. So the crawler is like as strong as the scorpion, but it only has one attack. Huh? It has one attack? You need to know frame get. Oh god. The worst hyper characters to know who play are the ones you need to know frame gate for. So I've only ever fought 8 of these guys. I guess these are just freebies. Like if you run into these guys, you just get like free EXP. I think they also run away too, but like you run it them with they're mostly with just skeletons. Okay. So they're with just skeletons. Yeah, we hate free. So the green slime has 255 defense. Gray ooze is a weaker slime in terms of defenses, but it has the highest attack of like all the enemies we've seen. 30 attack is a lot. Like a lot. Also, guys, if you want to see me get really angry in a fighting game, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is not the game. Smash is the game where I get angry the most. I also get angry in Guilty Gear XR. I don't know, I don't think anything tops Smash, though. Like, I get very angry at Guilty Gear, don't get me wrong. But Smash is on a whole nother level of me getting angry. Just throwing that out there. Anyways, I mean, to be fair, we both got very angry at Sarg. Like, we both got upset at that game. Mostly because Dizzy and Elf felt for you were making you mad. It was mostly just Dizzy and Elf felt. For me, it was just me getting masked out of everything. Or, you know, in some cases, just hit out of things that I very clearly should not have been hit out of. Anyways, the Great Ooze. You need lightning for... Well, you don't need lightning. You can use lightning. You can also use regular hats. Yeah, it got to the point now one of us were having fun. Because, like, we basically played it every day for a year. And only just us. I kinda did get... Like, it was our way of doing something together. But it was the same game for like an hour every day for a year. So that probably didn't help. Probably didn't help with Xarg. I mean, we could probably play Xarg now, maybe. But I think I have a feeling that you would have less fun with it because I still have all my knowledge of Dizzy and Elfelt to a degree. So it would probably be less fun for you than it would be for me. Anyways, Great Ooze. Yeah, I can understand. I can understand. Great Ooze. Strongest enemy. He's very dangerous. He's a very dangerous boy. Especially if you run into this group. You run into 3 of them. Oh my god. That's a death sentence right here if you run into 7 of them. 6 or 7 of them in a group. You do accent core. I mean, accent core, I'm not even try-harding in. The reason why I'm not try-harding in accent core is it's hard. It's actually a very hard game to understand. I think the reason why I do so well in Xarg over accent core is you can just roam and cancel at any time. So it's a lot easier to do combos and stuff in Xarg. It's really hard to do in accent core in plus R because I don't know where the Roman cancels are. You can't Roman cancel at any time. Also, Dizzy is very different in plus R compared to Xarg, so it's a lot harder to get used to her there. Just she has completely different moves, and some moves are on different button inputs. Like Buckle is on Hadoken back instead of Hadoken forward. So yeah, it's a little bit harder. Ah, the gargoyle. So gargoyles are not super strong. They are very evasive. So you might have a hard time hitting them with physicals. Which means you're going to get whittled down with their regular attacks. But they're not super hard. They're not super hard. I don't remember if Grey Ooze can inflict poison. These guys just hit you. They just punch you with guns. They just go whack, and you're like, ow. I don't want to Strive at all. Strive is slow as molasses. Like, I would use Dizzy and Elfelt in Strive. I was maining Ram level in Strive, but like, I don't like how Strive plays at all. Bloodbones! Bloodbones have the most HP out of any enemy you've fought so far, I believe. Like, I don't think... I mean, the Sark has about as much, but like... Bloodbones are... very resistant to magic. I think all skeletons are resistant to magic, maybe. Or maybe it's just the Bloodbones. They're a little bit evasive. Gold Lewis. Gold Lewis is ridiculously good in Strive. He also has one of the weirdest inputs. Like, I kind of want to install Strive again just to show off just how weird his inputs are. Because you know how You know how you do, like, half circle forward? And he'll, like, swing his little coffin from back and forward on the ground? So, if you do, like, half circle back, he'll swing the coffin in front of him, to behind him in the arc. Like, basically, you do a half circle input, and he swings his coffin in that direction, in that specific arc. So, half circle forward, back and forward on the ground. Half circle back, forward and back on the ground. You know what that means? He's the only character I've ever seen that has a half circle motion from, like, down to up. So, like, from down, forward, up. That is an input you can do. Or down, back, up. Also an input you can do. And, how about half circle back and forward while doing it up? So back, up, forward, up, and forward. I've never heard of any other character that does that. Like, he is the only character I have ever heard with weird inputs like that. I mean, yeah, that's a point who ate, but it's not like a half circle input that's like, I've never seen. Anyway, Blood Bones. He hits you a bunch. That's all he does. This guy. This freaking guy. Oh my god, this guy. Probably one of the worst enemies in the game. Definitely the worst enemy early on. And you have to fight this guy early on and get the crown. So, you will fight, I think, 4 of them in a group. Notice how you can run into 7 of them. I think that's later on. So, in this version of the game, I believe you have to fight 4 or 5. I forget how many. They are regular enemies later on, but, here's the thing about this. You're forced to fight a specific number of them to get the crown. In all previous versions of the game, the number of Pisco demons you fight on that spot is random. So if you're lucky, you can fight like 1 Pisco demon for the crown. Actually, I think you can fight like 1 to 6 of them in the older versions. It's random what you get in the older versions. It might be 2 of them, actually. I think you can only fight, yeah, it would have to be like 2 of them. 2 has 6, I think is the amount. So, you can actually get an easier fight for the crown than you get in this version of the game in previous versions of the game. These guys suck because they only have regular attacks, but look at how high their attack is. They also have like some of the highest defenses in the game. You're not hurting them with magic. Magic is useless. Like I said, dude, magic is like useless in this game. Because of all the high magic defense. They're also evasive. So you're gonna have a hard time hitting them with physicals. They hit really hard. And they have a decent amount of HP. So you have to fight this guy to get the crown. So, fun fact, if you're doing a no EXP run, or a boss only run, I think it's boss only, yeah, you don't get any good magic. If you're doing a boss only run, so if this version of the game, you can set encounters off. This is going to be one of the hardest fights of the game. Now, it's easier if you set, like, EXP times 4. And, guild times 4, so you can actually, you know, fight these guys and you kind of want to, you don't want to do a level 1 only run, even then, these guys are some of the worst guys to fight. Because they just hit so hard. They're so hard to kill. And the fact that you fight like 4 of them or 5 of them at this spot is like, ugh. It's awful. And then there's Astos. Here's your big boss. You get the crown, you go up at the, what is it called? I forget what it's called, the Fallen Keep or something like that. I can't remember. Don't help me. Western Keep, that's it. You would think I would remember these names, but, Astos is kind of dangerous. He does have, I think he can use haste on himself. I think he uses slow, so he reduces your hits. He uses a whole bunch of other spells, but he has death, I believe. I think he legit has outright just death. So he can just instant kill people. Let me double check. I'm gonna go over here real quick. Let me see what Astos has. Give me a second, if you will. Give me a second. Astos. Let me see what Astos has. So, oh yeah, so he has haste, he has slow, which hits the higher party. He has slow Ra. He has death. He uses dark, which does blind the party, I believe. He has sleep. He has Fyra, and he has Gundara. So, in the previous verse, in this person, he has an 11.11% chance of using any abilities. In the previous versions, in the previous versions of the game, in the NES version, he has 25% chance of using an act and 75% chance of using magic. In all other versions outside the Pixel Remaster at NES, he has a 52% chance of using an act and 48% chance of using magic. He will, in order, and this is in a prior to the Pixel Remaster, in order, he will go Death, Slow-Ra, Haste, Fyra, Gundara, Slow, Dark, Sleep. And then he will loop the spells in order from that. So he will always hit you with death first if he uses magic. And this person is 11.11% chance of him doing anything. So it's more balanced in that it's random, it's completely random what he will do. In other persons, you know if he uses magic, the very first thing he's going to use is death. So he's a little bit harder in earlier persons compared to this one, but you might get unlucky in that he might hit you with death multiple times. Or you might get lucky and he might cast like slow or slow-ra or like haste, or you know, just waste his turn. He does die very, very quickly. Again though, magic is useless. Magic is useless. I repeat, magic is useless. Why bother with a black mage or red mage? Black mage, red mage is like completely worthless, it feels like. Like, the more I look at this, the more I'm like, dude, there's no reason to use a black mage, like, ever. Except for, like, random encounters. And even then, it's like, magic defense is just, like, so high that it's, like, useless. They do have elemental weaknesses, yes. But, like, half the time it's like, I don't know, dude. It feels kinda... Yeah, not everything does. And half the time, like I'm noticing right here, like, half the time they have high max defense. So you're better off just punching things. Ah, the mummy. The mummy. So the mummy is pretty strong. It hits really hard. And if I recall, they like sleep when they hit you. Why does a mummy put you to sleep? I don't know. Ignore the amount of defeated mummies. So, they're immune to, like, status effects. I think all undeads are immune to, like, everything. Like, they're immune to, like, they're always immune to ice, feels like, and statuses. But, like, they're almost always weak of fire. You run into mummies in a lot of places. Who mummified all these guys? So yeah, mummies give a decent amount of EXP a kill, but you're better off finding, like, blood bones over the mummies. If you can. I mean, you're gonna fight mummies, you're gonna fight whatever you fight. You're gonna fight a lot of mummies. And you might run into this group, which is kinda scary. Or this group. You don't want this group. And we'll go over why you don't want this group. Anyone that's played this game will know exactly why you don't want that group. That is like one of the worst groups. The Wraith. He will poke you, and you will be blinded. He's not very strong. He's decently high hack. I don't think they use magic. But, like, overall, they're not very hard. They're just gonna be very numerous. Like, very numerous. And they like to show up with other undeads. Anaconda! If you like the Cobra, how about the Anaconda? Anacondas, they're just upgraded Cobras. They hit harder, they're more durable, they're also dragons. That's all they are. They just go, and you're like, yeah, I'm poisoned. Hyena gone. These guys, they have the same attack as the Anaconda. But they have more max defense and less defense. Wow, guys. More max defense. Amazing. They're not really very difficult, though. You should be able to beat them very easily. Like, I'm going to go amount gold. They shouldn't be too hard. So, here's the thing. Once you get the canoe, the difficulty of the game depends on what you do. Because the way I play, once I get the canoe, I go to the ice cavern to get the leatherstone, and then I get the airship, and then I go get my I go to the Citadel of Trials to get the rat tail, and then I upgrade my classes. So by the time I fight these guys, I'm at a much higher level with job classes, with better equipment, with just better everything. But you could go amount gold right off the bat. If you wanted to, you could go amount gold last in the game out of all the dungeons. So again, the difficulty depends on when you go to areas. Let's say you go here first. The problem is, I can't tell you how hard things are when you go here first, because I don't go amount gold first anymore. I have no reason to. I love going to the ice cavern first. I love suffering. Suffering's just fun, guys. It's real fun. Don't you know? But yeah, these guys, they they just do regular attacks. I don't think they have a fire attack. I forget if they do. I think that's another enemy. Lesser Tiger. They can apparently drop X potions in this version of the game. X potions do not exist in NES or PlayStation version. So the fact they drop X potions, and you can run it from fairly early, so if you wanted to grind X potions, I guess you could get it from these guys? Question mark? They're not really that much stronger than the hyena guns. They have a little bit more defense and magic defense. But they're basically the same as the hyena guns. The Minotaur. They're also just about the same. They are basically the same, just a little bit more magic defense. And less defense. And more HP. And they drop a knife. Guys, do you want a knife? Why do the Minotaurs have knives? So Minotaurs, they're not very strong. They're very easy to beat. Like, if you can fight these guys, you should be able to beat the Minotaur. The Minotaur's gonna have just more HP than anything else. This guy, though, this guy might be a little scary. So Hillgeigus are probably some of the stronger enemies you can fight in the Cavern of Earth. They're probably gonna hurt the most. Do you fight these guys, Cavern of Earth? Okay, yeah. So, Minotaur, you fight Cavern of Earth. Hillgeigus, you fight there. Hillgeigus are far more dangerous than the Minotaur. And they're a lot more, magically resistant, because why wouldn't they be? Why would they not have high magic resist? They do give you a lot more EXP and money, like almost double the Minotaur. They also drop Hint. Hint is very nice. It costs a lot of money at this point in the game. It gives free hints. I mean, can you say no to that? I like hints. Now, we talk about dangerous enemies. The Earth Elemental is a dangerous enemy. High magic resist, decent defense, high HP, and, most importantly, high attack. When they hit you, it's gonna hurt. They don't need a coconut gun to fire in spurts. They just poke you and it's gonna hurt. Oh wow, they drop remedies. I mean, for the most part, you're only gonna run it in like... Oh my god. I think you run into like 1 or 2 in the Cavern of Earth. I don't know when you run into 4 of them, but hopefully not in the Cavern of Earth. That would be terrifying. But overall, these guys, they're the most dangerous you're gonna fight. Luckily, you only fight them, like 1 or 2 of them, so... As long as you can handle them, they shouldn't be too difficult. But, if you run into them and you can't handle, like, these guys, you don't want to fight these guys. If you can handle them fairly decently, you might want to fight the Earth Elemental. Because, you know, that's a lot of EXP and money. Especially EXP. And getting a free remedy might be okay. I mean, you don't really need remedies in this game, I'll be honest. They're weak of fire too, so... I mean, they're weak of fire, but you're not really using magic on them. I'm gonna be honest. If you have a flame hunk, that might be nice, but you're not gonna have a flame hunk this early. Troll! These guys are funny. They just have eternal headaches. Eternal headaches. Also, high magic defense. Yay! High magic defense! These guys are just, like, slightly stronger Minotaurs. That's all they are. They also regen HP, so if you're not killing them outright, they will regen HP a little bit every turn. So, either focus them down or save them for last. And then you have to upgrade the zombie because, you know, we've only had 3 types of zombies. We need more zombies who can inflict paralysis. So yeah, here you go. More guys that can do paralyze. More or less the same thing. They're just stronger versions of previous zombies. And then the ochre jelly, they are just an upgrade of the gray ooze. They do not have very good evasion, so you just punch them, and they will die. I mean, you can use fire and ice. Their max defense isn't as ridiculous as our enemies. I think they come in, they come with, like, tarantulas. Only with tarantulas, or themselves. So, you're not gonna see them very often unless you run into tarantulas. My most hated enemy in this game. More so than the Pisco Demon. And I'm sure this is everyone's most hated enemy. The Cockatrice. So if you don't have golden eagles when you go to the Cavern of Earth, these guys are going to be your biggest bane of existence. They don't have anything but the regular attacks. Their regular attacks, inflict petrify. If your higher party is petrified, that's a game over. You will run into these guys. You will run into groups of these guys. And they often comes with other cockatrices. Do you see what the problem is? And if they come with mummies, mummies can inflict sleep. Keep that in mind. So they're combined with enemies that can inflict sleep and other enemies that can inflict petrify. And remember, there's no outright immunity. Well, I guess there's immunity if it's not a special attack, like a special ability. If it's a special ability, it's not immunity. If it's a regular attack, I think you can't be immune to it, but still. These are some early game enemies. They will inflict petrify. They're very deep into the Cavern of Earth. So if you get petrified, you're getting petrified like very deep into the dungeon. And if you don't have golden needles, which cost a lot of money, I think like 400 gil, you're in trouble. And if your white mage gets turned to stone, and you don't have a golden eagle, you don't have a way of using exit. Well, your white wizard. Well, no, it would be a white mage. I don't remember if white mages can use exit or not, but like, it's terrible. It's bad. These guys are like some of the worst enemies in the game, hands down. And then your mini-boss, a vampire. He hits hard. That's it. He usually dies very quickly. He's actually a very weak boss. Like, you can pretty much kill him on turn 1. If you don't kill him on turn 1, he'll die on turn 2. He's not very difficult. He's very easy. And then you run into... Yeah, the problem is getting him. By the time you get him, you're going to be worn down from all the other enemies, more than likely. And that's where the problem lies. But even then, he's probably going to... Yeah, you're probably going to have fought everything all the way. But, like, even then, he's going to be dead in, like, a turn or 2. And he's a regular enemy later on. Which, by that point, he's just not a problem. Ogre Mage. Ogre Mages... I forget what Ogre Mages do. Do they actually use magic? Let's find out. What do the Ogre Mages do? They do use magic. They have Dark, Sleep, Blizzard, Hold, and Blink. So, you're gonna start running into enemies that actively use magic against you. Yeah, you do have to run through this area twice, so... The vampire is just a mid-boss. You're gonna have to come back through the Cavern of Earth a second time to get to the actual boss. These guys are deeper in the Cavern of Earth. So, Ogre Mages are very dangerous because they have Blizzard. Blizzard really hurts. Blizzard hurts a lot. And you might run into them with, like, some of these groups, which, This group in particular is going to be a nasty group. So, Ogre Mages are probably one of the more dangerous enemies. Still not as bad as the, Cockatrice, though. A Sphinx! It says it's in Mount Gold. Wow. It's in Mount Gold in one other place. It didn't even give me the boss. Why is it giving me the Sphinx here? It got the boss of... Okay. Some of these bestiary entries don't make sense. So, I don't remember what this guy does. At all. Because he's in Mount Gold. So, he usually just, you know, dies. But as you can see, he's very evasive and very magic resistant. So, you're probably not gonna, like... You know... use magic. I think he has a fire attack? I don't know. As you can see, I only fought 4 of these guys. And then the boss of the Cavern of Earth. So you gotta go for the higher Cavern of Earth a second time in order to get this guy. So let's... Magic resistance. Of course! He is weak to fire and Gia. He's immune. Oh yeah, Heim is a hype too. Apparently you can win a dry ether. So what does the Lich do? Let's find out, shall we? Lich Final Fantasy. So he has hold on. Belisara, Sleepra, Haste, Thundera, Hold, Fire, Slow, Sleep. So, if you're wondering why I made him a mage in Ho-Ho Fantasy, this is why. So, he has the same probabilities as Astos in using a hack or magic prior to the Pixel Remaster. His magic cycle in those versions are Belisara, Sleepra, Haste, Thundera, Hold, Fire, Slow, and Sleep. So, with that in mind, you may want to bring Null Shock and Null Frost to half the damage of Fire and Thundera. You probably still want to bring that anyways. In the Pixel Remaster, it changes, so, 23.81% chance of regular attack, 14.29% for, you know what? Hold on, let me make this a little bit easier. I'm going to make this a little bit easier so you guys can see what I'm looking at. So give me just a second, if you will. I am going to do this so you can see this. So, wow. You can see right there, it is 29.3%. Give me just a second. Yeah, it is, 29, you can see all the probabilities there. That's for the, Pixel Remaster version, as well as the other versions of the game. It's a lot easier for me to show it that way. Yeah, lots of spells you won't have. Lexus or mages and every other setting but FF1? What do you mean they're mages? Hey, he's a mage here! What are you talking about? He is a full-on mage! He's even classified as a mage. And then you have your Mount Gold enemies. I can't speak on the Mount Gold enemies because I come here so late. He is higher, but he has like Thyra and Thundera, remember that? Or is it Thyra Glycera? So he has an AoE spell that really hurts. So, you know, that kind of matters a little bit. So Enkeg, you fight him in Mount Gold. I think he just hits you. So again, I can't really speak on difficulty of enemies at this point. Yeah, the hardest part of the floor of Mount Gold is the floor hazard. Because when you walk around in Mount Gold, you have to deal with lava, which does damage to the higher party, and it's covered in it in the higher dungeon. So that's where the difficulty lies in Mount Gold. The enemies aren't as strong as like previous areas. They are a little bit stronger, don't get me wrong. But it's mostly just dealing with a damage floor. So this guy, I think, can inflict poison when he hits you, because of course. Piranhas, you fight these in the rivers around Crescent Lake and Mount Gold. So these guys kind of hurt because they're in big groups all the time. And if they come in with this group, it's gonna suck. Now you should have Thundera. Thundera will take care of them real quickly. In fact, I think Thundera might one-hit KO them. If you come here later, you can use the Force Hammer or whatever to deal with them, but like, you're probably going to deal with these guys going to the Cavern of Ice. They do a decent amount of damage, they are very evasive, so they are a little bit annoying to fight. How did I only fight one of them? What? Huh? I fought only one? How? I'm so confused. Red piranhas are even stronger piranhas. They only show up with like white alligators. So these guys are a little bit more dangerous. They are more dangerous, actually. So they hit you really hard. That's all they do. They just punch you. Really, really hard. Oh, I forgot to check on, I forgot to go check out the Nimmy. Let me go check out the Nimmy. Make sure that the Nimmy's not, like, screaming. Is the Nimmy screaming? Nimmy. Is the Nimmy screaming? I don't think she is, okay. Let me go check. Double check it real quick. I don't think she is. That's a shame. So yeah, red piranhas are much more dangerous than the piranhas. They hit a lot harder. They're a lot more... No, they're the same evasion. They got a lot more defense. So they're tankier, more HP, higher attack, and more magic resistance, because of course they do. Crocodile. These guys are very dangerous. These guys are probably one of the more dangerous enemies you'll run into in the lake. And very frequently. They hit you, and they hit you good. They can drop cottages. I don't remember if that's an item in the NES, PS, or PlayStation version. But they are good for getting cottages if you want them. White crops are even stronger versions. Look at the EXP and money you get from them. almost triple, no, almost double, more than double EXP and money you get from these guys. But they are a lot stronger. And they give you a high potion. Why? Why a high potion over a cottage? So these guys kinda suck. Because they always show up with red piranhas, which, you know, they hurt. And you might even run into white crops. So these guys, very strong. Shows up with red piranhas, who are also kinda strong. They are weak to lightning, but they have very high magic defense, so who knows if that thunder is really gonna help. And then the O2. The O2's not terribly strong, but when they hit you, guess what they do? That's right, they inflict poison. Don't you love poison, guys? I love poison. Poison's so fun. Also, is that an eyeball on a tentacle? You have an eyeball on your tentacle? That must be weird. They're weak to lightning instead of fire. I don't know why. Like, why is a plant weak to lightning instead of fire? And the Neo-2, which is a stronger O2. They give a crap ton of EXP. Canoe enemy, I guess that makes sense, yeah. Don't bother using magic, again, because high magic defense. So, again, I think they inflict poison when they hit you. Look at them! Oh no, they're in a flying fortress? Why? Okay. They're only in a flying fortress. Why is this if this... I don't get the organization. Wow! You can either fight 1 or 2 Neo-2s. If they're here with a water background, though, so I would assume you can fight them in the lake. I wonder if the bestiary's not exactly done correctly. But yeah, they're just stronger O2s. They're not... If you can handle the O2, you can handle the Neo-2, especially since you only fight 1 or 2 of them at a time. The Hydra! You have the Hydra's back! So Hydras are probably... Are they stronger than the White Crocs? No. The White Crocs are still the most dangerous enemies. Hydras are kinda still dangerous. But the White Crocs are like cream of the crop of canoe enemies. Outside the Neo-2. But Neo-2, you don't fight in a group. Hydras and White Crocs you do. They just punch you or bite you. They're dragons. I mean, Hydras are very dragon-like, so it makes sense. And now we get to the Mount Gold enemies. Here's where I say I don't know what the difficulty of these enemies. Because I never... Oh, they're in the Silco Trials. I think they can use fire, if I recall. Let me double check. Let me see what the Horned Devil does. Horned Devil. Horned Devil can use fire, fire, and hold. Okay, the Horned Devil's a little bit more dangerous than I thought. Since they have fire, that is a lot more dangerous. Yo-bye. Yo-bye. Especially if you come here early, that's gonna hurt. Because you're gonna run into, like, a group of these guys. And they only come in groups. So you might get nuked by fire spells. Their magic is a bit on the low side, luckily. But getting hit by fire after fire is gonna wear you down. And they're not even... Wow, they're not even weak to ice. They're resistant to ice. So you would think an enemy in a fire dungeon would be weak to ice? Nope, these guys resist ice. Pyrolisk. If you hate the cockatrice enemy, you're gonna hate the Pyrolisk even more. Because where the cockatrice only had the regular attack that inflict petrify, I think these guys can too. I'm not sure. But they have a special attack, I believe, called Gaze, that can inflict petrify. And because of the way that special attacks work with resistances, if the special attack passes its check on hitting, the status will also hit regardless of if you have resistance to it, if I recall. So having resistance to petrify isn't going to matter if their attack actually hits first. So Pyrolists kinda suck in regards to that. They kinda suck. And they show up in a few areas. They don't have very much HP. They're very weak, luckily. They are very weak enemies. But they do show up in groups. So they are problematic. You do want to throw like AoE spells at them. Throw like a Blissara at them and they'll die. Or Thundera. Thundera also works, I believe. But Blissara will take them out very quickly. And speaking of dangerous enemies, if you remember the Earth Elementals, Fire Elementals are just like them. They hit very hard. They have high HP and pretty decent max defense. Weak ice. No more, no less. I think they just punch you. They might use Fire and Fire too, I don't remember. Fire Hydras use an attack called Blaze, I think, that does fire damage to everyone. They're not very strong. Semi-high max defense. Decent HP, but they're not very strong. If they're weak to ice, they're dragon type, so the Worm Killer does work here, if you want to use it. And the Lava Worm, which I think also uses Blaze, I'm not sure. Because I don't let them live very long. They have very high attack, same attack as the Fire Elemental, a little bit more HP. They are more tankier than the Fire Elemental. So you can only fight the Lava Worm on its own. Just like with the Fire Elemental. So, if you run into a group with these guys, it might be better to run away if you're unable to handle the other enemies. If you cannot handle the Fire Elemental, go far with the Lava Worm. Lava Worm does give you a lot of EXP, less money than the Fire Elemental. So, I would highly recommend fighting the Fire Elemental. Yeah, most things die in a single Blissara. Most things do. I don't know if you get the Ice Brand here. Do you get the Ice Brand? You might. If you get the Ice Brand at this dungeon, then... yeah. I'll go over the dungeons in detail another time. So there might be a third stream. I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. Or this might be a very long stream. Hellhound! Another enemy that I think that there is Ice Brand. Gotcha. Another enemy that I think does AoE fire damage, if I recall. They're not very strong. They are very quick, though. So they might get hats off before you. They're also the most evasive. Also decent max defense, because why not? Not very high HP, all things considered. Well, I mean, they got more than the Horn Devil and Pyrolisk, but like, compared to other enemies, not super high HP. And then the Fire Lizard, which... Fire Lizard, yeah, they just waste resources. Fire Lizard also about the same. They have the most HP. It looks like out of all enemies. And it's the same max defense as the Lava Worm. So, not exactly an enemy that you want to deal with, particularly. I mean, it's still better than fighting the Lava Worm. Actually, it's... Yeah, it's still better to fight the Lava Worm. They also give a lot of EXP. And you might fight Fire Gigas, which... Fire Gigas is probably the worst enemy to fight, because look at that hack. That hack you, they punch you, and you're gonna cry. It's gonna hurt. They're the leader of the ones here. You will know them well. They hit you once, and you go, bleh. So you may not want to fight these guys if you can't handle other enemies. If you can't handle other enemies, what are you doing here? Go level up or get better equipment. And the most dangerous of all enemies, the Fire Dragon. Or the Red Dragon. Red Dragons suck. They just outright suck. High attack, high evasion, decent magic, very high magic defense, so you're not hitting them with magic. And I believe they use, let me see what they do. Yeah, you get Worm Slayer from, one of the, Mystic Keys, chests. They have Blaze. So they do have AoE fire damage. So these guys can hurt with a single regular attack or hurt everyone with a fire attack. If you have the ice armor, you're gonna take less damage from Blaze, but you know, only the warrior can use that, I think. So I mean, everyone else is gonna suffer. Now, if you're having trouble dealing with the fire attacks, remember, you can't get no Blaze for your white mage, or red mage. So make sure to use no Blaze if you're having problems, or if you run into one of these guys. And then it's the stupid sexy Lamia. We say sexy Lamia, but you can't help with this. Merilith! Again, you're not really using magic on Merilith. Are you a person of fire and ninja for ice armor? Ah. So Merilith is a little bit rough. Like, Merilith hits pretty hard. And she's relatively fast. She's very evasive. She is a mage. And she's not even weak to ice. Guys, she's not weak to ice. The Fiend of Fire is not weak to ice. What do you mean she's not weak to ice? Why? So what does Merilith do? Assuming I can spell. Well, Merilith, I am going to show you. Give me just a second. Merilith. This is what the Merilith does. So as you can see, very different from the previous bosses. Higher chance of using regular attacks than the previous versions. And she will use in order Fire, Dark, Fire, Dark, Fire, Hold, Fire, Hold. So she loves to do fire, she loves to inflict blind, and she loves to inflict paralysis. Now, Here's the thing. If you're gonna go fight Merilith, yes, it's mostly physical, but if you're gonna go fight Merilith, make sure to use Null Blaze. Always throw Null Blaze up, and throw Protect up. If you have Hera, you can go. But if you come here, like, later on, if you don't come here immediately, she's a joke. She's an absolute joke if you come here later on. Now, if you excuse me, I will be right back. I need to go check on the doggos, and that's gonna take me a little bit of time, so give me just a second. What spells does Crescent have? Let's find out. The spells... You get Skona, Execrahera, Viscera, Thundergut, Death, Quake, Stun. They're all level 6. So I think you get like the Saga from, somewhere else. No food bar, I do not want you open. So overall, Merilith might be hard on the first try if you come here without doing everything else. But she might not be too difficult. If you're going in order that the game wants you to go in, might be hard. Otherwise, actually, she might not even be that hard as long as you can keep up healing. That's the most difficult part of the game is keeping up healing. Because the game does a very good job of wearing you down before you get the boss. In most games, it tries to wear you down before you get the boss, but I feel like it never really wears you down that much. You got Blissara. Yeah, I mean, look at that max defense though. And remember, she's not weak to ice. She's not weak to ice. So she has no elemental weakness. So, I don't know why she's not weak to ice. It makes no sense, but, you know. And then we get to the cavern of ice enemies. So, the White Dragon. The White Dragon is a little bit stronger in terms of attack and max defense. Also, a lot more evasive, but it has, like, no defense. So, if you pop it in the face enough, it's probably gonna die. It is weak to fire or lightning. Obviously, you might be able to still kill it with, fire and gun. Well, actually, no. It might not do enough damage. Never mind, you probably don't want to hit it with magic. And white dragons are normally by themselves, so you don't have to worry that much. They are a threat if you go to the Cavern of Ice early, because I think they have Snowstorm. You probably have Thundergut at this point. You might, if you're doing the story, proper. And if you, well, in order to get Thundergut, you have to, also be a Black Wizard, or Red Wizard. Because Black Mages, Red Mages cannot use Thundergut. Winter Wolf! Fun fact about the Winter Wolf. This enemy is the enemy that you farm in previous versions of this game. Because this enemy is the enemy you would fight at the Peninsula of Power. The Peninsula of Power is north of Propica, or, northeast of Propica. If you get the Fire spell, you can kill these guys in one hit of a Fire spell. Now, that's assuming you get your turn in before them. Because they do have, Ice Storm, which is AoE ice attack. So, you might die, but if you're able to kill them, they come in a big group. Like, this is usually the group that you would, fight them in. I don't think you fight, Ice Gigantus in the Peninsula of Power. But this is how you farm EXP and, money early on in older versions of Final Fantasy 1. Also, you can get Ice Shield from them in this version. You cannot get Ice Shield in, other versions of the game, I believe. Not in the NES and the PlayStation version. Okay. So, if you're wondering why, in some games, you run into a mind flayer, he hits you with his staff for like 1 damage, and then you instantly die. I believe that's because that's how it's always been with Mind Flayer. In this game, if you notice, they have 1 act. They're not gonna do like any damage to you. I don't even think they use any magic spells. But you know what they do? They have you, and you instantly die. If I recall correctly, yes, a regular act does instant death in this version of the game. In this game in particular. So, while I said the cockatrice was one of the worst enemies in the game, the Mind Flayer is pretty high up there too. Especially if you don't have protector rings. If you have protector rings, then the Mind Flayer, I think, doesn't really do much of anything. They're not very strong. You could probably kill them in 1 hit of almost anything that's not a magic hack. But if they touch you with a regular hack, well, you're probably dying. And then we get the Ice Gigas, who is, you know, your big, beefy, I'm gonna punch you hard guy. I don't know if he has Ice Storm or not, but hey, look! Look at that magic defense! Wow! Wow, I am so surprised, guys! Holy crap! High magic defense? No way! He's weak to fire at least, but like, wow! High magic defense? No way! And then there's the Spectre who, if he hits you, it does like blind. I don't remember if he uses magic. I don't think he does. If he does, then I don't recall. Give me just a second, if you will. Give me just a second. Give me just a second. Give me just a second. Alright, there we go. So yeah, Spectre, not really a dangerous enemy on its own. It does have decent attack, and it is very evasive, so it might be hard to hit with regular attacks, but it's not very strong, all things considered. And by the time you get here, if you've done, like, Citadel of Trials, or even Mount Gold, these guys shouldn't really be that much of a threat to you. This guy likes to inflict poison whenever he hits you. He's also a very, very beefy boy. Like, look at those stats. He's stronger than the Ice Gigas. Excuse me. He is actually stronger than the Ice Gigas. Oh my god. And you can only fight 1 or 2 of these things. Yeah, I don't like it either. I don't like centipedes. I hate centipedes. I'm trying not to look at it. I don't want to look at it because I hate centipedes. Ah. The Dark Wizard. This is the worst enemy in the Cavern of Ice. Why? They are super super dangerous. They die very quickly, but listen to this. They have Faraga, Ungaga, Slowra, Stun, Scourge, and Gaff. And in the NES version, they will always use Gaff as their first spell. Always. I think I got... Yeah, I remember barely surviving a fight and escaping with like 3 HP. These guys are dangerous. You don't want to run into them trying to get through the Cavern of Ice. And they don't show up until late in the Cavern of Ice too, so... They are the most dangerous enemy. Outright. Then you have the Evil Eye. Here's your mini-boss for the Cavern of Ice. So this guy is very, very weak. You could probably kill him on turn 1. However, he does do a bunch of instant death. That's what Beholder loves to do. I believe he was originally called Beholder, but they changed the name, because, you know, D&D. For those who don't know, Final Fantasy 1 is based heavily on Dungeons and Dragons. If you didn't know that. If you didn't know that, I don't know how you didn't know that, but yes, Final Fantasy 1 was inspired by Dungeons and Dragons. Probably like a lot of other things at the time. So yeah, Evil Eye, you fight this guy to get the, Levy Stone. He's not very difficult. You probably kill him in 1 turn. So we start going to a desert. You only fight this guy in the desert, as, you know, his name implies. He's fairly strong. He's a fairly strong guy. 98 attack is nothing to sneeze at. That's really high. And 48 defense is also pretty high, too. So this guy, you probably don't really want to fight. Like, he's probably gonna murder you. No, I only fought one of these guys. How did I avoid ever fighting this guy? I don't know. This was one of the guys I think I had to go back and fight in order to complete the bestiary. Sacred Hoof. Sacred Hoof should not be a problem. Like, you're gonna fight this guy around the Mirage Tower and the Citadel of Trials. He's not very strong. Like, compared to enemies before him, he's very weak. You could probably poke him. You could probably throw catnip at him and win. He's not gonna be a very difficult enemy. Unless you go to the Citadel of Trials early, then he might be a problem. Wyvern! Not to be confused with Wyvern. We don't talk about the Wyvern. He's very sensitive about being called Wyvern. He's also not very strong. He's very evasive, and he's very fast. But he's not super strong compared to previous enemies. He doesn't give you a whole lot of gil. But he does give you decent, EXP. Hey guys, did you know that the Wyvern is a dragon? Who would have thought? And then you get the upgraded Wyvern, which is the Worm. The Worm is only slightly stronger. Not a whole lot stronger. He's less evasive. And, you know, he's more rich. If this is the peasant, this is the duke. In terms of money. And he's basically identical otherwise to the Wyvern. The Manticore! I believe they could use poison darts. I don't remember if poison darts does poison or instant death. If I recall, these guys are kinda a little bit of a jerk. Let me go check the Manticore. It might be instant death. Manticore. Oh, it does poison the entire party. That's what poison darts does. Alright, so poison darts, I mean, poison the party, you know how it is. You know how much this game loves poison. It really loves that poison. Otherwise, not a very hard enemy. You can get hint, but not very difficult enemy. How many enemies do I have? It's been 2 hours and I've been doing this just for enemies. Oh my god. So I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. So, Beretta, not very difficult. It's strong, but not very difficult. Hits you. That's all it does. Basilisk. I forget if it does petrify. I'm assuming it does petrify. With a special attack. So he's kind of dangerous, but not very strong. Allosaurus. This guy... where... Huh? How do I have him at the bestiary if I never beat him? Huh? I'm confused. Defeated. 0. But he's in my bestiary. So this guy you're not using magic on. Dinosaurs who don't understand magic. High attack. Hits hard. Lots of EXP. Very scary when you run into him. Were Tiger. Not a very strong guy. You can beat him up very easily. Regens HP. Not a very big threat. Sandworm. You will run into this in the desert areas. Wait, ice, I believe, right? No, wait, nothing. Overall, not a very strong enemy. The dinosaurs are dragons. They sure are. Dinosaurs sure are dragons. Sandworm. Just beat him up. Minotaur Zombie. You can handle this guy when you first go to the Citadel Trials. If you can handle him there, that tells you that he's not that difficult to beat. You can get the great axe of this person, which, I mean, yay? So, not super difficult if you can handle this going in the Citadel of Trials right off the bat. King Mummy. About as strong as the Minotaur Zombie. That's about it. I think you can inflict sleep when he hits you. Medusa. They suck. They can turn you to stone. They're probably the worst enemies in the Citadel Trial. Luckily, they're very weak, so you can probably kill them very, very quickly. With pretty much anything, really. Anything will kill them. Rakshasa. I think they use a whole bunch of magic, like confuse and stuff, so it's like status ailments. Which makes them a little bit, dangerous or resistant to, like, everything. Don't use magic. Magic is worthless. Punch them. They're not very difficult otherwise. Clay Golem. Very dangerous. And hit really hard. If you have magic, you might want to use magic. Otherwise, just poke them. Not very difficult. Nightmare. I think these guys are the ones that can do instant death. Yes, live potion. I didn't even recognize that. Why does he drop a potion? Why not a high potion? Nightmare. I think they have Snort, which I think is instant death. Correct me if I'm wrong. Otherwise, not very difficult. They're very evasive. They are very evasive. Otherwise, you can throw ice on them. They might die. It's just dark damage. Okay. Dragon Zombie. Probably one of the more dangerous enemies. But overall, still not hard. If you need to get through Citadel of Trials, I think you only fight one of these guys. Yeah, I think you only fight one of these guys here. They're the final boss you fight here, technically. Final boss. You can bring, like, Diara, if you wanna, you know, deal damage with your white mage to get done with the fight faster. Otherwise, not very difficult fight. Your idea might be considered for this, just so you can get the rat heal. Sahagan Prince. Not very difficult. We're now in the Sunken Temple, or Sunken Shrine. Sunken Shrine. The weak of lightning, they just punch you a whole bunch. That's all there is. Like Sark. Some of these guys are about as strong as like the King Mummy. Actually, they're a little stronger than the King Mummy. But by the time you come here, if you do Mount Gold first, these enemies shouldn't be very difficult. I like to come here first after upgrading my classes, just to get the Rosetta Stone. Or the Adamantite. Yeah, Sunken Shrine is very long. Hey look! White Sark drops a Worm Killer, which is useless at this point in the game. The enemies aren't very difficult, especially once you get the item from Citadel of Trial. I think it's the... I don't remember if it's... I think it's Gauntlets, which gives you Thundera. So you can just throw Thundera with someone all day long, like your Black Mage. It kind of trivializes this dungeon. Random ambulance outside. Yeah, just spam thunder spells and you'll be fine. I mean, even here you can just throw thunder spells and it'll be fine enough. These guys, I think they've got paralysis. A little bit hanky. Just a little bit hanky, but not very difficult to beat. You can just throw lightning down. Or, you know, poke them in the eye. Because, you know, they are just eye. Sea Snake. Not difficult at all. I think they can inflict poison. They are, in fact, a quiet dragon. Don't get twisted. You just punch them, they'll die. Not that hard. Sea Scorpion. They also do poison. They're very similar to the Sea Snake, except they're not a dragon. Grow Lightning, they die. Easy peasy. Not hard. Sea Troll. A little bit hankier in terms of stats, but not very difficult. They punch you, they can regen HP, not hard. You can just kill them. Ghost. I forget what these guys do. I only think they use magic. They apparently use magic. I don't remember what they use. If they use anything, I don't remember. Let's find out. What does the ghost do? Ghost, the Final Fantasy. The ghost. They just attack you. So why do they have magic at all? And they inflict paralysis when they attack you, so you may want to get rid of these guys first. They are weak to fire, and, you know, of course, They're not that hard otherwise. Oh, wait, no. They have very high attack. Never mind. Get rid of these guys immediately. Very high attack. Warning! Very high attack. Even higher than the Water Elemental. Water Elementals have... They're not very difficult. They are a bit evasive. Throw lightning or throw ice out. Sorry. They like to go with ice and lightning. They'll die very quickly. Yeah, the elementals are kind of whatever. Water Naga. Is there anything to say about these guys? They're basically free. These are free enemies. These are basically just freebies. You hit them, they die, you get lots of reward. Ah, it's the Kraken. So Kraken hits you very hard with regular attacks. He hits multiple times. I believe he has Thundergut, and he uses Ink and inflict blind. And he probably has a couple other spells, but overall, not super difficult. If you get the Citadel of Trials, you should have the a method of using Saber on your fighters. Blind is pretty bad in FF1, yes. Use Saber on your fighter, give him haste, whack him with your strongest lightning, he'll die real quick. He's not super super hard, but don't let him hit you too much because he does hurt. Tyrannosaur, very scary. You don't want to fight this guy. He hurts a lot. He's very hanky in terms of magic. He hits very hard. And he's a dragon, because, you know, Tyrannosaur's a dragon. Black Knight. Not very difficult. Like, how you get to, the, Mirage Tower and the Flying Fortress. I mean, these guys are probably not going to be super difficult. Black Knight, one of the easier guys. Chimera, I believe, can use, Poison Dart skill. Otherwise, it's a beast dragon. Really? It's a dragon? Why is it a dragon? Otherwise, just poke it, it'll die. If you have, like, a knight or a black belt, or black belt, master, it'll die super fast. Guardian, they just punch you. You can punch them. They will die. They are also weak to lightning. Not hard at all. Blue Dragon, scary guys. I think they use lightning. Don't bother with magic. Blue dragons are dragons. They resist lightning and earth. I repeat, blue dragons are actually dragons. Did you guys know that blue dragons are dragons? You don't really run into blue dragons very much. Like, they're very rare. Green dragons, also very rare. They use poison gas. Inflicts poison to everyone. As you can see, they're a little bit weaker than blue dragons. But they have the same, speed, evasion, and magic evasion. They just have less in every other stat. But more EXP and money. Stone Golem. They punch you. That's all they do. You punch them. They die. Easy peasy. Air Elemental. They punch you. You punch them. They die. Very easy enemy. You can get Ethers. Reminder that Ethers are not in the NES or PlayStation version of the game. They are not. Spirit Naga. I think this is a freebie enemy. Let me check what the Spirit Naga does. It might be a freebie enemy. Never mind. It has slow, sleep, fire, thunder, heal, blink, dark, silence, and poison gas. Which means it's still, you know, weak. It's not very strong. Poke it. It will die. You will get lots of goodies. It's a maze. Death Knight. It hits you. It might use some other things. It's not very dangerous. Don't use magic. It's a maze, apparently. What? Why is it a maze? It will die. Earth Medusa. I believe likes to petrify. Hopefully you have Aegis Seals or ribbons. Poke it. It will die. It has like no defenses and little HP. Weight of Fire. Black Land. Just like the green slime. Very high defense. Use magic. Probably weight of fire. It will die. Soldier. Very scary because they're high attack. Poke him in the face. They are pretty hanky though. They are very hanky boys. As you can see, they're kinda rare. Kinda rare because they're very hanky. Phoenix down. You can throw lightning at them. They will die. Vampire Lord. They're just stronger vampires with higher spells. Smack them in the face. They regen HP, but if you smack them hard enough, they will die. They don't have much HP. Dark Fire. These are basically the white mages. Punch them. They will die. War Mech. War Mech. War Mech is your first actual super boss of the series. You will fight War Mech as a 1 in 64 chance on the bridge. I will show you just how the Warmech fight is. What I'm going to do is this, and I will do so Warmech has two different things. It will hit you very hard with a regular attack, or it will nuke you, which hits everyone and it hurts. It only has 2,000 HP. It regenerates 100 HP every turn, so it's very dangerous there. You know what? It doesn't really matter because we're going in here with like full everything. Yeah, Warmech stats aren't consistent. As you saw, that's the power of a black belt. Or the Master. Master is very strong. That was a crit too, by the way. I just killed Warmech in one turn. So Warmech, 1 is 64 chance. So I'm going to show you Warmech over here. Because I think it's imperative to show you guys just how different Warmech is in each version of the game. So, let me do this real quick. I hit the wrong button. We are going to do this. There we go. So, Warmech. Over here, this is in, Pixel Remaster. As you can see, it has a 48% chance of nuke and hack. In previous versions, it has a 75% chance for regular attack. And it restores about 100 HP. In the NES version, it only restores 3 HP. And apparently it could get a preemptive strike. So, let me show you what it's like in, say, the PSP version. It's still got about the same stats. It can drop the Genji armor. So, it can drop the Genji armor. Keep in mind these stats, okay? 2,000 HP, 80, 96, 200, 128. Let's go to PlayStation. 2080, 96, 200. It's still the same stats, apparently. Let me check the NES version. Is it the same in NES? I think it's actually the same stats in all versions of the game. I think it's actually the same stats. It's Chaos who's not consistent. Chaos is the inconsistent one, and we'll get to him when we get to him. So, Warmech, very, very dangerous. Very rare chance. You only fight Warmech in the area leading to Tiamat. So, on that last map, 1 in 64 chance. I mean, it does give you a lot of deal at EXP, but you kind of don't want to fight this before fighting Tiamat. In all honesty, you might want to fight the PSP version because it drops Genji armor, but like, you don't really need it that badly. So yes, Warmech is technically your first super boss of the Final Fantasy series. It's just a very rare random encounter. And then Tiamat, your big boss for the Flying Fortress. Tiamat's not really super strong, in all honesty, I feel. Let me go ahead and pull up Tiamat. So, Tiamat has Thunderbolt, Poison Gas, Ice Storm, Blaze, and that's it. So, she has, like, AoE Poison, She has lightning, ice, fire. So, it's a 50% chance in previous versions for her to use that, but it's a 42% chance of using a hack in the Pixel Remaster. Also, fun fact, and I don't know when they fixed this, it might have been like a PSP or this version of the game, you could defeat Tiamat with Petrify. If you use Break on Tiamat, or the Cockatrice Claw in the GBA and PSP version, I don't know if it's fixed in the PSP version, you can one-hit KO Tiamat. Tiamat was not immune to Petrify for some reason. As you can see, she's immune to instant death, time, stone. Notice that stone is a resistance. I don't think there's a resistance in previous versions of the game. Now, we start getting into the final dungeon, I believe. Yes. So, Rios, not a very difficult enemy, can drop the power staff, punch it in the face, it will die. By the time you get to the final dungeon, you should be able to just punch things and go die. Death Eye, he's a little scary. He hits hard, he can probably inflict instant death, but he doesn't have much of a way of defenses. Well, he does have decent defense. But not very difficult. Apparently he can drop an elixir at this person, which that's kinda nice. Purple Worm, the Purple People Eater. Not very difficult. Punch him in the face. Don't use magic. He will die. Iron Golem. Very, very beefy boy. Very, very beefy. He's gonna take a little bit to kill. Just punch him a bunch. Don't use magic unless you're using lightning. He will die. And then to refight with the elemental thing. So Lex here is a little bit different. He likes using Flare. Flare hurts a lot. Flare is very yabai. It's very yabe. You don't want Flare. Punch him a lot, he will die, but watch out for Flare, it's gonna hurt. These guys are gonna wear your butt down before you get to Chaos, unless you're just really strong. It's not even weak to fire. Marilith. What does Marilith even do? I think Marilith just beats you down. Let me check. Marilith, do you just punch people like a second to counter? Oh, Marilith has Faraga, Stun, and Death. Yabe. Yabe. Or Yabai. So watch out for Death. Have Protect Rings. That way Death doesn't work. Otherwise, not super difficult. Kraken? Kraken is a little stronger. Why does Kraken drop eye drops? He has Ink and Thundera. That is literally all he uses at this fight. It's not very different from when you fight him normally. So just punch him a bunch, he'll die. Tiamat, a little bit more dangerous. In addition to what she had before, she also has Fire, Thundera, and Glycera. So Tiamat, a little bit more dangerous, just a little bit, but otherwise not super difficult. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, lastly, we get to our final boss, Chaos. Oh boy, Chaos. Oh boy, Chaos. Chaos, 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 my guys. Something's not right with these stats. Why are these stats? So, Chaos... Chaos kinda sucks to fight. Chaos kinda really sucks. Who's the one that you actually know? Chaos? Is Chaos the only one you know? Notice how it doesn't even give you any stats. How useful. You know what? Let's fight Chaos. We're gonna fight Chaos. No Blaze. Giant's Glove. For Hera. Ember. Hey look, Flare. Ow! So, I'm at level 60. Chaos is very dangerous. I don't need the null spells, apparently. I'm gonna use this again. I'm gonna use Healara. And I'm gonna use Ember again. So, he uses Tirage, like, he can use Tirage at any point. Originally, so, as you saw, it healed 9999 HP. In older versions of the game, Chaos, I think, only has, like, 8,000 HP, so that's a full heal. In later versions, they gave him 20,000 HP. Why did I use Haste again? I'm gonna use Hera more. Yeah, I'm gonna keep throwing Ember on you. Ow! He does have, I just did a chunk of damage. He does have, Blizzaga, Slow Rock, Thunderga, Kiraja, Haste, Baraka, Blissara, Flare, 4 spells. He also uses Blaze, Tsunami, Cyclone, and Earthquake. So he has a lot of very scary things. He has a lot of very scary things. That's scary. That one's very scary. And you cannot use Dispel on him, so that makes that very, very yabai. Very yabai. Because that means he's probably going to one-hit kill someone if he punches them. That's a Blizzaga. So as you can see, Blizzaga doesn't really do as much damage. If he uses like Earthquake or Tsunami or things like that, that is, wow, that did a lot of damage. That's going to do a lot more damage than that. As you can see, Fauna over here is just going to handle everything. Okay, so we got the easy fight here with Chaos. Chaos is not like murdering me outright. So sometimes you can get very easy fights like that, or you get very difficult fights like I did on stream with the very first fight with Chaos. Granted, I am level 60 here. I think I was level 40 when I did this fight. Or was I level 50? I don't remember. So yeah, this fight overall is a very, very difficult fight. It is the hardest fight in the game for a reason. This fight just sucks. So, in the previous versions of the game, 40% say, you know what, I'm just gonna soak this so you guys can see just how ridiculous, my luck was. I'm gonna show you just how ridiculous my luck was. So you can see the previously to the Pixel Remaster and, this is in the, GTA PSP. This is the PS1 and WonderSwan, and that's the NES. So, in the NES version, it's a lot easier because you'll use, like, magic more often. If they're not as dangerous, I mean, Cure 4 is gonna suck. Again, you look at the Pixel Remaster, and you see the chances. So, he doesn't use Chiraja. You see the chances of him using Kiraja? 2%. You saw that on turn 2. But yeah, here's his stats for those who are wondering. It's very high stats. Magic doesn't really do much to Chaos. Magic does like nothing to Chaos. And that's all the enemies. So we went over all the enemies. We went over all the enemies. We went over all the classes. Well, we went over all the enemies this time. We went over all the classes, items, equipment, spells. I believe that's all we went over last time. Is there anything else to dive into? Is there anything else we need to look into before we call it a day? That's supposed to be Sarah? I mean, Sarah does look nice. What else have we not covered? That's kind of cool looking. You gotta love the old Amano art. Also the art. What is happening there? That's the Kraken? I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell that's the Kraken. So, here's a fun fact. Do you see this? Here's cool to see the original warrior flag. Notice the name of this idol. Battling the Behemoth. Did you guys see a single Behemoth in the bestiary? The Behemoth, I think, was supposed to appear in this game. Based on this art, we never saw the Behemoth. Behemoth does not appear until Final Fantasy 2. The Cloud Seeking Jin? Huh? Wonder what that's all about. Behemoth is a super boss. Cloud Seeking Jin, huh? And then Chaos on his throne. This is what they used for Dissidia, was this. I think this is exactly what they used for Dissidia. And here you have the Warriors of Light. Look at that Warrior of Light. I wish I could zoom in. You cannot zoom in, sadly. Warrior of Light in all his glory, his Dissidia glory. This is how your Warrior of Light was supposed to look like. And this is what they used for Dissidia. For the Warrior of Light. I don't know who the Gijin is. I never heard of the Gijin. Gijin? Hey guys, it's a goblin. He looks like he's on crack. Here's your Basilisk. Creepy little guy. It does look like Garland. Here's a Gygus, if you want a big boy. A Sahagin. You know, glove. Here's a Sark. I mean, you need artwork for a Sark, right? Here's a skeleton. He's falling apart. A worm is a crawler. It's basically a worm. I would not want to run into this. Would you want to see this guy in real life? I don't think I want to. If I saw this guy, I would run. I'd be like, that guy's gonna eat me. Here's a hellhound. Not to be confused with, you know, with demon guard dogs. They're not related to this. Anaconda. We need good artwork for Anaconda, because we don't know what Anaconda looks like. Scorpion! That's a creepy looking scorpion. I don't think their faces are supposed to look like that. Minute Whore! Yeah, that's a minute whore. This poor troll, he has a headache. He's just like, help me! Someone get me some ibuprofen for my headache! Ah! The first boss of Megami Tensei. What, a troll? Oh look, it's a ghost. That's a ghost. And there's a zombie. Keep him away from your neighbors, or they may get eaten. Medusa! Your guy. And then Rakshasa. I don't know what Rakshasa is. It's probably like something in... I don't know what it is. Oh, minute whore. It's a saber hoof. Do you guys know what a saber hoof is? I've never personally seen a saber hoof. I mean, I probably have. It was in Persona. I mean, you know, ask Voidex here. I probably have seen a saber hoof. More than likely. More than likely. Gargoyle? More than likely seen plenty of gargoyles. Dragons? Dragons? I've never seen a single dragon. What are you talking about? Never seen a single dragon. Slime! It's gonna ooze all over you. And then you get a tarantula, because you know you need artwork for a spider. And a manticore, which is just a form of a chimera, right? Beretta. I don't know what a Beretta is. Mummy! Are you coming out of a coffin or a treasure chest, sir? What are you doing inside the treasure chest? You! Cockatrice! Hey, look! It's a Tyrannosaur. And then you get a crocodile. It's just a large hunk demon that eats people. Oh. O2! It really does have eyeballs on its tentacle. That's weird. So you can just move your eye wherever you want? That seems weird. Hydra. I mean, it's a Hydra. A very tiny Hydra. Soldier. I mean, when you think of a soldier, you don't think of a robot, but I mean, it's called soldier in-game. Naga. They're just like snake people. That's all a Naga is. They're like a form of a Lamia, just, you know, less sexy most of the time. Lamias are not always sexy, but you know what I mean. Chimera. Chimeras are always jerks in video games. They're always very dangerous enemies. Chimeras are kind of similar in news, right? You cost me so much ire and genius of Sapphires. So much ire. I hate these guys. I hate mind players. People would still go for Lamia, they would. It's a golem. He's a big boy. You know, the more I think about Genius of Sapphires, the sadder I get, because some of those enemies are just... Genius of Sapphires was just BS. It was. Black Knight. I mean... He's a knight. He's black. Dark Elf. We hopefully will not see the Dark Elf design. We will not see this very specific dark elf design ever again. No, we would never see this design again. Nightmare! I mean, it's just a unicorn. It's literally just an evil unicorn. Legs! We all know about the legs. He's a skeleton mage. He just, you know, he kills you. Merilith! Why is Merilith's face all darkened out? Is there a reason why Merilith's face is darkened out? Oh wait! That's her mouth! That's her freaking mouth! That's wide open. Oh! Oh! You guy! That's a big mouth she has! Oh, good more to eat you with. And then you get this goofy looking kraken. Anyone, can anyone help me a more goofier looking kraken? Because this is a very goofy looking kraken. And then a D&D staple. So if you guys don't know, Bahamut and Tiamat are in D&D. And they are exactly as they are. Bahamut is the benevolent, platinum dragon? Was Bahamut a platinum dragon or some other dragon? Tiamat was the malevolent dragon. I forget which type they were. But yeah, Tiamat was an evil dragon, Bahamut was a good dragon, the deity. Also, Tiamat is female. Bahamut is male. So yeah, whenever you see Tiamat, usually female. Actually, I think Tiamat's always female. Bahamut will have to be some metal dragon. Like, I don't know D&D very well. Excuse me. I just know that Bahamut's a good dragon, Tiamat's evil dragon. Even though in mythology, in actual mythology, Bahamut's a whale. If I recall. Like, if you played La Mulana or seen La Mulana, I think Bahamut is a whale, and Tiamat's like some kind of lady, I think. Males and to be more lawful. Ah. Was Tiamat a lady in La Mulana? I don't remember. Then you have Chaos. Chaos is Chaos. Bahamut was also cut in half to make the sea and sky. I did not know that. Oh, Tiamat was cut in half to make sky and sea? Interesting. And Chaos is the last art here. So that is all of that. I'm not going to play the music. Let me load the game. So we're going to talk about one more thing before we end the stream. Well, we're going to talk about a couple more things. So let's talk about treasures. So, Cornelia. Yes, I'm going to go over the treasures so that you guys know exactly what you need to find. Cornelia. So this is the treasures that you can find. And Cornelia, you need, in order to get all of these treasures, Castle Cornelia, that's what I need. You need the Mystic Key for all these items. So you need the Mystic Key to get a cottage, the saber, a mithril knife, the tent, another cottage, the iron armor, and the nitro powder. The nitro powder is what you need in order to progress the game by giving it to the dwarves over here. The Mystic Key you get from the Elf Prince. Here, after you get the sleeping powder from Hoya, all the way up here, This is where Mahoya is. After you get the crown, or the crystal eye from Ascos, who is right here. After you get the crown, which is all the way down here at the Mars Cave. Are you following? I hope you're following. So that is what all you can get in Castle Cornelia. Now, the Chaos Shrine. What can you get here in the Chaos Shrine? You can get a potion, a hen, and the letter cap. With the Mystic Key, you can get a Rune Blade, which is what you do extra damage with against mages. A Werebuster, which does extra damage against beasts. And a Golden Eagle. So you get the Werebuster and the Rune Blade here. Give me a second. Now, Mahoya's Cave. This is if you're going for 100% completion, by the way. You don't have to get all these items, but Mahoya's Cave doesn't have any treasures to find. Interesting. I thought it did. So the next treasure chest you get will be down here in Elfheim in the Elven Castle. You can get the Mystic Key from the Prince, and once you get that, everything requires the Mystic Key. You can get 800 gil, 700 gil, the Bronze Gloves, and the Mithril Hammer. After that, we will be going to the Mars Cave. This terrible dungeon. The worst dungeon in the game. I hate this dungeon so much. And I'm sure so many other people hate this dungeon. Because it's kind of BS. No one likes it. It's awful. You can get 680 gil. This is all on B2. 680 gil. 620 gil, broadsword, and a dagger. On B3, you could get Phoenix Gown, 295 gil, Cottage, Copper Armlet, a Crown, and 385 gil. And on B3, with the Mystic Key, 1020 gil, Antidote, and the Silver Armlet. With that said, the Western Keep has no treasures, if I recall, but you can get the crown here. Oh no, it has treasures, never mind. I'm sorry. With the Mystic Key, you can get a Falchion, a Power Staff, and the Steel Gloves. Let me check something. Was there a way to check how many items are in a place? Oh, it was right here. Okay. I was like, what's there a way? Yes. Okay, so. You know what? What is next? Let me check what I got next here. Mount Dugar. Mount Dugar is where the elves are, or the dwarves are. If you have the Adamantite from the Flying Fortress, you will get the Excalibur here. So make sure to come here to get Excalibur. You can get the... These all require the Mystic Key, which, I mean, by the time you get here, you're going to have the Mystic Key. No, you won't. Never mind. You can get the Worm Killer, Hen, Great Helm, Ether, Cottage, Mithril Mail, Potion, and 575 gil. So having the Mithril or the Mystic Key is very nice. Now, we go to the cavern of Earth for our next adventure for items. This is a bit of a doozy, so bear with me. On B1, you can get 1,975 gil, 795 gil, and antidote. Give me just a second, I'm gonna move this over here. I'm gonna do this. Because I'm just looking away all the time, so I'm just gonna move it over here. 795 gil, antidote, potion, and 880 gil. On B2, you will get 330 gil. The coral sword, 5,000 gil. Letter seal, and 575 gil. On B3, you will get sleeping bag, 3,400 gil. Gold nail, 3,400 gil. 1,020 gil. And the star ruby, which you need in order to get the staff that you need to progress in this dungeon. And on B4, you will get the staff, 3,400 gil, 5,450 gil, 1,520 gil, 1,455 gil, a 10 mithril shield, and 1,250 gil. You get a lot of money in here. After that, we will go to... I don't think the Sage's Cave, which is where you get the Earth Rod. The Earth Rod is what you need to progress in the game. Let's go to... Let us go to Mount Gold, shall we? So Mount Gold... Alright, we found Mount Gold. So, on B2, you will get Mithril Helm, 1,520 gil, 4,150 gil, 750 gil, 1,520 gil, 1,760 gil, a Great Sword, a Mithril Glove, 1,455 gil, High Potion, 1,975 gil, Antidote, Phoenix Gown, Mithril Axe, and Mithril Seal. Holy crap, that's a lot of items in one area. Woo! On B4, you will get Gold Nail, 2,750 gil, 1,750 gil, 880 gil, Antidote, Flame Shield, Ice Spring, 10 gil, 155 gil, Cottage, 2,000 gil, 1,250 gil, and a staff. And on B5, you will get the Flame Mail. So there's some good stuff there. From there we go to the Cavern of Ice, which is right here, I do believe. And here, on B2, you will get the clones, the Levy Scone, the Flame Sword. Why is this out of order? On B1, you will get the Ice Shield, the Sleeping Bag, 9,500 gil, the Ether, and 10,000 gil. And on B3, 180 gil, 9,900 gil, 7,900 gil, 5,000 gil, 5,424 gil, and 12,350 gil. Lots of money. It throws a lot of money at you. Interestingly enough, there are items to be found over here. So let's go to the Cardian Islands, all of these areas. You can find a cottage, dry ether, elixir, gold nail, and X potion. These are probably in later versions of the game. 500 gil, 2000 gil, 1455 gil, 2750 gil, 9500 gil, 1520 gil. I'm assuming those are in earlier versions of the game. Alright, Citadel of Trials, which is right here. You will find the gauntlets, healing staff, steel gloves, ice brand, ruby armlet, cottage, 1455 gil, 7340 gil, and the rat's tail. No, the rat's tail is optional. You don't need it, but I would highly recommend it. The Sunken Shrine. You have to get there from, Onric. This place is giant, and you will see just how giant it is. Time for my voice to guide. First floor, you will find 9900 gil, 2000 gil, 110 gil, 450 gil. Second floor, 7690 gil, 8135 gil, 5450 gil, 385 gil. The Giant's Gloves. You want that. The Light Axe, the Ribbon, 9900 gil, 7340 gil, 2750 gil. On the fourth floor, you will find the Mage's Staff, 1350 gil, Light Axe, and Diamond Armor. At the fifth floor, the Antidote, Diamond Seal, 9,000 gil, 1760 gil, 4150 gil, 5,000 gil, 10 gil, 10,000 gil, 2750 gil, Diamond Armlet, Diamond Gloves, Diamond Helm, and the Rosetta Stone, which you do need to progress in the game. The Waterfall Cavern, which is way up here. You will find Wizard Staff, Ribbon, Defender, 13,450 gil, 6,400 gil, 5,000 gil, and the Warp Cube, which you need in order to get to the Flying Fortress. Mirage Tower. We're almost done, my voice is dying. So Mirage Tower. First floor, you will get 800 gil, Healing Helm, 3400 gil, Oracle Sword, 18,010 gil, 2750 gil, Aegis Seal, and 10. And the second floor has the Dragon Mail, 10,000 gil, Sunblade, 7,600 gil, 13,000 gil, 7,900 gil, 1,350 gil, 8,135 gil, Cottage, and Force Hammer. And then once you get through there, you get to the Flying Fortress. On the first floor, you will get a Razor, 180 gil, 5,000 gil, for Echoing, 6,720 gil, Healing Helm, 7,900 gil, 2,150 gil, 9,900 gil, and a Potion. God, why is there so much money? Second floor, Diamond Glove, Diamond Seal, Ribbon, White Robe, Black Robe, Adamantite, Cottage, and Mithril Helm. And the third floor has 8135 gil, 9500 gil, 5450 gil, 9000 gil, 3400 gil, 2150 gil. The Protect Cloak, Clothes, Gold Ribbon or Golden Needle, Potion, Protect Ring, Sasuke's Blade, and the Golden Eagle. And finally, it's a Chaos Shrine is a pass. The first floor has 4,500 gil in Ultra Persons or Dry Ether, and 65,000 gil in Ultra Persons or the Elixir. On the second floor, B2, 26,000 gil in Ultra Persons or the Mega Elixir, which is not in this version of the game. Protect Ring, Sasuke's Blade, and Protect Cloak, and on B4, the Masamune. Is it Masamune or Masamune? I always used to call it Masamune, but I think it's Masamune. I think it's Masamune. And the very last game we're gonna do, the only mini game of the game. While you're on the ship, not the airship, but the I think it has to be this ship. So let's go here. How does this work again? I gotta remember how this works. How does this work again? Hold B and press... Is it hold B and hit A? Is that not how it works? It's in this game, right? Let me look this up. I don't know how you do this. Hold the confirm button and press the cancel button. So hold A and press B. I think it's like 55 times. Yep, there we go. So if you hold the confirm button and hit the cancel button a whole bunch of times to get this mini game. I am not good at this game. I will tell you that right now. I am bad at this game. I am not good at this game at all. I am very bad at this game. I used to be okay at it, but I have long since lost my ability to play this game. Yeah, I don't remember how to play this game. I don't remember how to play this game. So you do get rewards on that, based on your time in that game. The rewards are different. If NES person, when you complete that, you only got like 100 gil. So from the Wonder Swan person onwards, if you complete it, first place is 10,000 gils. Second place is 5,000. Third place is 2,000. Under 2 minutes is the Antidote Golden Needle Potion. Under 4 minutes, Antidote Potion. And under 6 minutes, Potion. Now, here's where the fun begins. If the God of Souls, so the GBA PSP person. First place is a Mega Elixir. Second place is Elixir, Remedy, Hermes Zeus, Emergency, Exit, Turbo Ether. Third place is Spider Seal, White Fang, White Curtain, Red Fang, Red Curtain, Blue Fang, Blue Curtain, Vampire's Fang, Cockatrice Claw. And just finishing is 100 gil, Potion, Antidote, Gold Needle, Ether, Phoenix Down, Eye Drops, and Echo Grass, which you get for game first, second, or third. Now, to get first, you have to beat that in 30 seconds or less. Second place is 30 seconds and 1 minute. Third place is 1 minute and 2 minutes. Now, here's the kicker. Here's the real kicker in the whole thing. The Pixel Remaster person has no rewards. There's no timer and no rewards. So ultimately, there's no reason to ever do it in the Pixel Remaster version. Which is kind of insane. In all honesty, it's like why bother? So yeah, I believe that is everything in depth for Final Fantasy 1. We have done items. We have done equipment. We have done magic. We have done characters. We have done the higher bestiary. We have done treasures. We have done the menu. We have done 7 in-depth things. 7 things in depth. I'm pressing the triangle button on my PS4 controller. That is not opening the menu. So yeah, we talked about everything in this version of the game. And honestly, there's not a whole lot else. I will talk about something else real quick. I might have talked about this last time. I may have talked about this last time. So we're gonna go over here. And I think I talked about this. Over here, in the NES PlayStation version, I believe, it was an invisible person here. Like, you can literally opt to, like, an invisible person. You have since removed that person, I believe. I think, if you repealed the sprite, it was a lady. But I think this guy replaced her. So no more invisible woman of Cornelia. And that's it. We also even talked about glitches. I think we talked about all the glitches in the game. Let me go check. Bugs. Let me check Final Fantasy. We talked about the critical hit glitch. We talked about Peninsula Power. We talked about the invisible woman. We talked about equipment bugs. We talked about how the intelligence stat was bugged in NES. The running glitch. For those who don't know, running is bugged in earlier versions of the game. In the NES version, it was supposed to be based on luck and level, but it's based on the luck and the status of the character who positions lower. In the third part, so basically, you can run perfectly if the top 2 characters have more than 15 luck, and a healthy party member in the 3rd slot. Or 3rd or 4th slot. It's really, really weird. It does not work the way it's supposed to work at all. So, a lot of the glitches and bugs are fixed in the Pencil Remaster. The critical hit bug ain't kept. It is not fixed at all. Also, when you level up, the game checks if the monk has a weapon equipped instead of their armor to determine what to use for leveling up. And it will set their defense to their level. So, it gives the monk special armor properties and uses... you can basically give him ribbons effect without having a ribbon. Which is kind of insane. That's about it. There's nothing else for Final Fantasy 1. I do believe that's everything for this game. So I hope that this has been at least a little informative. I know going on about the bestiary wasn't exactly, you know, exciting. I understand that. But it's a necessity for the Voidex. Now, when we get the games that don't have a bestiary, like, say, Final Fantasy VII or later, I am probably going to have to use the wiki, which is going to suck. because I can't really show things in game. But, you know, it is what it is, so we'll get that when we get that. So, that is all for today. We are done with Voidex. An in-depth look at Final Fantasy 1. So we can write that off as complete for Voidex. So next time, that's right, we're going to look at Final Fantasy 2. Probably one of the least popular Final Fantasies in the series. And boy oh boy, is there a lot to talk about with Final Fantasy 2. Especially with enemies. Enemies, I'm going to have to look at the wiki for. Because enemies actually do more than just regular attack, believe it or not. So with that, I will say, until next time, everyone, I will catch you on the flip side of the void. For when we do the Voidex. I can't think of a... I need to come up with a catchphrase for the Voidex. I don't have a catchphrase for it. We'll do an in-depth look at Final Fantasy 2 next time. For those who are going to be joining for our streams tomorrow, we will be doing the extra stage for Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom. I did not practice at all. It's going to be suffering. Monday, we will be going to Devil May Cry 4. Tuesday, we will be doing Metal Gear Solid 5. And then Wednesday, we will be doing Street Fighter the movie. Thursday will be more Devil May Cry 4 probably. And Friday, more Metal Gear Solid 5. And we will see what we do next Saturday. So, until then, everyone, I'll catch you on the flip side of the way. Take care of yourselves. Meantime.